I know one of the biggest lies the government has ever told you, that Operation Highjump was nothing more than a training mission. In 1947, there was a huge fleet that went over to Antarctica, and they were led by a Medal of Honor recipient named Admiral Byrd. Officially, they were there for a training camp, but it later came out that America was actually there to extend sovereignty in Antarctica. But what's crazy is the mission was then cut short. And the reason they cut the mission short, get this, weather conditions. The whole reason they went to Antarctica was to practice in that weather, and then they said the weather conditions are too hard and they went home. But what's even crazier is, 8 years before this fleet arrived in Antarctica, the Germans touched down in Antarctica. Not only that, when Admiral Byrd came back, he started doing some strange interviews on the TV, and then people started to say that some of the interviews that he was actually involved in were doctored and changed, and the transcripts were changed, because apparently there is an ancient civilization out in Antarctica, and the Nazis went there first to trade with them and to strike a deal where they would get technology, and in exchange, they would give them scientists. Subjects. If that's not enough for you though, then people started speaking about Admiral Byrd having a diary, a secret diary that was released, and apparently his son was given that diary, and he was going to give that diary to people to expose the truth behind the operation, and the Admiral's son was found dead from malnourishment in a warehouse. Not only that, 2 years after Operation Highjump, the Secretary of the Navy fell from a 16-story window because he was hospitalized for severe depression. Navy Secretary that people believe was debriefed the entire mission of Operation Highjump by Admiral Byrd. And people believe that there is a Nazi base in that snow known as Base 211. You want to dive into some crazy stories and stuff like that? That's the one.